Recorded Books is pleased to present the Modern Scholar series, where great professors teach you. My name is Richard Poe, and I'll be your host. Today we begin a course entitled Fueling the Planet, the Past, Present, and Future of Energy. Your professor will be Michael McElroy. Professor McElroy received his Ph.D. from Queen's University in Belfast, Northern Ireland. In 1970, he was named Abbott Lawrence Roch Professor of Atmospheric Sciences at Harvard University. And in 1975, he was appointed Director of the Center for Earth and Planetary Physics. He served as Chairman of the Department of Earth and Planetary Sciences from 1986 to 2000, and was appointed Director of the newly constituted Harvard University Center for the Environment in 2001. He is a Fellow of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences. Professor McElroy is also the author of several books, including The Macroeconomy, Private Choices, Public Actions, and Aggregate Outcomes, and The Atmospheric Environment, Effects of Human Activity. Professor McElroy also recorded one of the first Modern Scholar audio courses, Global Warming, Global Threat. For more information on this course, please visit its webpage at www.modernscholar.com, where you'll have access to links to related sites and a seminar room to share your thoughts with other students. And now we begin Fueling the Planet, the Past, Present, and Future of Energy. Lecture 1. A Short History of the Earth.
The focus of this series of lectures is going to be on energy, the lifeblood of the human enterprise. And I have a number of objectives in this particular context. I want to provide you with a sense of how the world got to its current condition in terms of its energy use. So I'm going to talk about the long history and the tortuous path by which we got to 2009 and the challenges that we face today. I also want to highlight some of the particular problems that go with where we are today. Let's take one in particular. In order to run our transportation system, we need gasoline or diesel fuel, or, in the case of our aircraft, we need jet fuel. The source of that fuel is oil, crude oil, and to an increasing extent, that crude oil that is used, for example, in the United States, has to be imported. We have a similar situation in China today, where China is also using increasingly large amounts of crude oil to run its transportation system. It also is being forced to import that resource. Now, the countries in which the oil is richly available are countries like Saudi Arabia and Iran and Iraq, and a number of places where one would be concerned about the stability of that and the reliability of that supply in the future. And we know from experience that oil has been used as a weapon by countries in that region on at least two major occasions in the past. We had the oil shock number 1 in the early 70s. We had the Iran hostage crisis and oil shock number 2 near the end of that decade. And with those oil shocks, small shortages in supply of oil, massive increases in the price, serious disruptions to our economies as a result. So we are increasingly dependent, essentially, on these imported resources, and it's not a very stable situation. Supply and demand are variable. As they fluctuate, oil prices can go up and down, gyrate over large ranges, particularly in recent years. Not so very long ago, I'm talking about this in mid-2009, not only a little over a year ago, oil prices hit a high of more than $150 a barrel. Okay, what's a barrel? A barrel of oil is 42 gallons. At $150 a barrel, the projected annual bill for imported oil in the United States was going to be around $700 billion a year. Now, important to see what $700 billion a year really means. The stimulus bill that was enacted in recent times to try to offset the economic crisis that is gripping the world in 2008 and 2009, that stimulus bill, which was extremely controversial, involved allocation of some funds like $700 billion. 1 year's worth of imports from the Middle East, indirectly, if that was the way we were going to deal things. Now, it's true that oil prices, as the economies of the world have slumped, oil prices have gone down from 150 to as low as 30, but within a few months they've bounced up to 60. So they've gone
Sample complete. Ready to continue?